Lynn, again, it's brilliant. Everything you do is brilliant. I love this. I do want you to write a book because I think it would be amazing.
Eventually, I'd like to. I appreciate that.
You'll get there. Anything else you want to talk about before we leave? You want to tell anyone about anything?
I think that covers it. I think the important thing is to have an open mind, right? Because all monetary transitions in history rewarded people with an open mind. And that doesn't mean your mind's so open that your brain falls out. You know that old term, like don't be so open-minded that you're not critical, right? You want to be critical, but you also want to be open. And so that involves taking small steps, being like, think through from first principles. What does this mean? So there are times where we don't have to go back to first principles and reassess everything. We can just kind of assume that things that worked out are going to keep working out. But there are big transition periods where that's not going to be the case, and you have to go back to the root of what assets you want to own, what is money, what is a good investment, where do you want to live in the world, things like that. Just kind of reassess from first principles what it is you're doing here and what you're optimizing for and what the risks are to you personally as well as broadly. And so the interesting thing about the Bitcoin space is that there are people that make a call about Bitcoin. Like someone's like, I don't like Bitcoin because X, Y, Z. And then they get told to have fun staying poor. And so they harden. They then there's no amount of information that will ever change them. Right? They've made their decision. And I think the trick for surviving this decade is to not be like that. Don't be someone who makes a viewpoint and then that's your viewpoint now. You can never change your viewpoint because your ego is now tied to your viewpoint. I think this is going to be a decade that kind of rewards, someone whose ego is under control. You're kind of always curious. You're always assessing what's going on. What are the risks facing me? What are the risks to my assets? What did I maybe miss a year ago? What did I miss 2 years ago? And I think that's the way to move forward, is to just be open-minded, because all of these monetary transitions involve people that could think of the unthinkable and that could look past how the system currently is and envision, if you were to start with a blank sheet of paper, how could it be? What are the alternative kind of timelines we could be under? And I think that's important to think of going forward.
I agree. I also think it's a decade that's going to reward people who are signed up to the Lynn Alden newsletter, which I pimp every time we make a show because I think it's amazing. Lynn, this is incredible. Love talking to you. Thank you so much. Great to see you again in person. And I just can't wait to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.